Okay, go ahead.
The Lord has, I find, impacted my life a lot because I've had the strength to work these past now almost 4 weeks now, uh, working here cleaning toilets, and I feel like it's impacted me, helped improve my work ethic a bit. Also, like last night, I was thinking I said something, and then I thought, I'm like, I shouldn't be saying that. It's like something I would have said probably just as a joke, but then I was saying like that's not Christ honoring, and so I feel like that's is a way I'm starting to improve, and I thank God that I am. But also, I realize that not every hearing different people's stories. Uh, we're all broken vessels, and it's not. I'm not the only one that's broken, and I'm weird because everyone else is perfect. It's interesting to hear other people's stories, and it's helped me to realize that I'm not the only one. There's people like me, broken, but we've been made whole by Christ.
Beautiful. Is that it?
Yep.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Well, one thing I've learned is that even though you may seem like you have the lowest role in society, the absolute worst, the knees in the mud, you are in reality the highest position because you are doing the work, you are doing the humblest work that you can, and you're serving God in a way that almost nobody else wants to. So, in that way, you're in almost a higher position than someone else who's taking a job that might be easier, more comfortable, might have bigger benefits. You're taking the lower job, and that's putting you higher in heaven.
James 1:9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nice. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Smiles. I'm the speaker for the Ridge Campers, Week 4, Pine Ridge Bible Camp 2022. I'm going around looking for campers and staff, Pine Ridgers of all ages, to see how the Lord has impacted their lives by being here at Pine Ridge this week. Let's see who I can find. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so through being here at Pine Ridge Bible Camp, it's impacted me by knowing more about him, because you can never learn too much about him. So you learn just more and more over the years. And when I was listening to chapel, I've heard some stuff that I haven't heard before, and the examples that you use were like perfect, like with the palm trees and stuff, and like the blank lines, and those have helped, and I've been thinking about that, and I prayed about that the other night. So yeah, and then helping out with the kids, I left the kitchen because Rachel said that she needed some help with them, and she was low on staff, so I left the kitchen because they already had a lot of other people in there, so I just came here to help all the kids, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So camp has impacted my life in a very big way. Started working here when I was 14 years old in the kitchen with Kevin, who is now the director, washing dishes. And in that time, we were involved with the teens and in ministry. And from there, the Lord just spoke to my heart at a young age about serving Him with my life. And I went on to be a missionary teacher. And then now I'm in Australia and came back for a week to volunteer when the call for help went out, and continue to impact and serve the lives of these kids for Christ.
That's awesome. Is that it?
Well, it had a profound impact on me, just having a passion to see children and youth come to know Christ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Cool. Y'all done?
Yeah.
Great job. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I am going on, it's been 20 years since I've been here. I started out in the late 90s as a camper, turned to cabin leader, and 20 years later I'm here with my own family. And I was brought back because of the sentimental, the sentiment that it brought back, being here, being able to give back, which was as a young little girl, this was the 1 week a year that I was just joyful and happy, and it was just a place that you could literally be at and just be a child and learn about the Lord and experience so much freedom. And I wanted to share that with my kids. I wanted to share what it was like to be at a place where you could learn about the Lord and be a child and love all of the activities. So that's what brought me back, and just loving being here now and watching my kids experience the same stuff, and also being a part of impacting these kids and just planting these little tiny seeds in their lives. You know, sometimes sometimes we don't see what it is that we're doing right here and now. But I can promise you that these kids 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years from now will look back, and for me that's enough, and I love that. And it's just growing the fruit of the Spirit, and just being a fisher of Jesus.
Yeah. Praise
So,
God.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that it?
It is it.
Awesome. Good job. Go ahead.
Well, I've lived here for my whole life, and I've been a camper here for over half of it, probably 10 plus years. And I've really connected with every single person, and they're just all great people. I haven't met a single bad person who's worked here, and I feel like growing up here has been good because it's taught me the true way to live out a Christian life and just to stay holy in His path. And once you get to high school, it just, everybody else goes their different ways, and you know, you just gotta stay true to your word, and you know it's right, but everybody else is doing something else if it's wrong, and you just feel kind of lonely out there. But Pine Ridge is really a good place to go, and you can really feel connected and feel welcomed.
That's awesome. Good job. Is that it?
I think so.
All right. Thanks, brother. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I've lived at Pine Ridge my whole life, and it's basically shaped the way I've lived. My parents are really good parents, and they're the directors here, so I went to a lot of the chapels as a kid because I went to camp at least 2 times a year, and that just hearing all the different speakers' perspectives on the Bible and hearing the Bible like every day all summer was really helpful for just growing in my faith. And it was at camp that I wasn't saved at camp because I was saved at a pretty young age, but I rededicated my life to God at camp, and I made a lot of big decisions here, like deciding to read my Bible every day and pray. And yeah, that's about it, but it's a lot, so.
It is awesome. Thanks, brother. Go ahead.
It helped me make new friends and everything, and I got closer to God more, and that helped me. And then I had a lot of family stuff going on, so God helped me through that, and it actually really does help.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Sweet. I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Good job.
Okay, I feel like Pine Ridge has always been a home to me. I grew up here, and it's really just been a place where I can be myself and be around people that love God, and I just love it here because I can be myself. This is where I truly am myself, and I think I've also really learned this past year to put my worth in God and not in anyone else. Yes, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay, go ahead.
So I would say one of the ways that Pine Ridge has affected me as a counselor is for the past few years, I gave my life to Christ a few years ago. I kept pursuing that and kept going toward Him, but I kind of hit like a plateau where I was just kind of the same for about a year. And I remember in the Bible where it talks about how the teachers and stuff need to hold themselves to a higher standard than everybody else, and how we need to reach a higher standard. And I thought to myself, well, maybe if I become a camp counselor, maybe I will raise myself to that higher standard. Maybe I will go up to that higher standard, because I'm very much the kind of guy who, if I have a higher standard I need to reach, I will reach it. But if that standard's not there, then I'll fall below it. And so one of the ways that God has impacted me through coming here is just raising me up to that higher standard, cutting out inappropriate jokes and cussing, things like that. But also, I'm searching deeper into the Bible, learning about the more intricate parts of the faith, I suppose. I'm looking more into things like predestination, stuff like that I hadn't really dug into all that much before. And question, even just with like the questions the kids ask, they ask questions, and I'm like, well, I have an answer for that, but I don't have a good answer for that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it makes you go deeper into the Bible. It makes you go deeper with God and makes you spend more time with Him. And that's one of the things that I love about it.
That's awesome. Sweet. Is that it?
Yep.
Good job. Thanks, brother. Okay, go ahead.
Pine Ridge has changed me because of how Smiles has taught me. Like, I need to respect girls, and I need to follow God more. And yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. You done?
Yeah.
Is that it? Good job, buddy. Thank you. Go ahead.
So we were on a canoe trip, and we came to a canoe landing, and there was a guy sitting there by himself, and he was like, I don't know, maybe 50 or something. He had like some tattoos and was wearing a shirt with an American flag on it, and I was like, oh, he looks kind of scary. And so none of us talked to him, and then Smiles went over there and like struck up conversation, and he was actually really nice, and he was like going through some hard stuff right then, and so they had a really good conversation, and
What
what
kind of hard stuff was he going through?
his brother just died, like that day or something. So he came there like for quiet, and we were all so loud. But he actually ended up being really nice. So it was a good lesson for all of us to not judge people on first appearances.
Yeah. Nice. Is that it? Good job. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is James Kuiper. I just started here at Pine Ridge Bible Camp as the new maintenance director, and I've been involved with different things, you know, and different movements and different just experiences, you know, trying to get closer with God. But nothing has compared to being able to witness kids grow closer to their Savior. It has been life-changing for me, and I've seen lives changed.
That's awesome. Sweet. You good?
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so Pine Ridge Bible Camp has helped me have a lot of new friends, people that I could count on. I learned a ton of new stuff that I didn't realize or didn't think of before, and it's been overall an amazing and great time there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You all set?
Yeah.
Is that it?
And I thank God that we have this camp.
Awesome. Sweet. Thanks, brother. Good job. Go ahead.
So I went to Pine Ridge Bible Camp, not knowing what to do, and like I didn't want to come, but like God just like made me come, I guess. He like wanted me to come, and I like I didn't like anything. I didn't like nothing. Like I didn't know what to do at first, but once I went to like start getting used to it and went to chapel, saw this man preaching, and he kind of just lit it up, I guess. And yeah, I was like not liking anything, and once we started doing stuff, I like started being joyful and all that. Yeah. Yeah.
And specifically, you weren't liking anything about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then what did you learn through conversations?
That it's not that bad, and you can trust people. Especially shouldn't think, like, you shouldn't, how do I word it? If no one likes you, or like, if they don't like, you shouldn't think what like people thinks about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you ended up learning a lot of things about yourself that were really wonderful and beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
And that made it so that now you walk around with a big smile, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful light coming out of your eyes.
Somewhere in the trash.
Good job. Is that it?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, you did a great job. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
So, what I learned was that God is not a person that just disciplines for fun. That He really cares about us, and that whatever we do, He will not forsake us, and He will forgive us. But some people just take Him for granted. So, and we have to open our hearts to them, and hide God's word in our hearts, and preach the word to the other people.
That's awesome.
That's what we all need, and some people just don't realize it.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Is that it?
Yep.
Sweet, you're done. Good. Okay, go ahead.
I learned that the people here are very friendly, and in chapel, I learned a lot of things about smiles and how God is not to be taken for granted, and he's like not a. He's a serious person, and and I learned that we're created like by God, like from His beauty, and I learned a few things about smiles and His stories. And how He will dang, I don't know how to say it.
It's okay, take your time.
I learned that he will put some light into you, and when you get older you could share it and be someone very graceful like you.
Like me? Huh. That's a blessing.
And that's all.
Cool. Thanks, man. Okay, go ahead.
Pine Ridge Bible Camp has given me a new perspective. For a long time I was kind of in the public school teaching kind of way. It made sense to me, the evolutionary way and how everything happened. But I mean, just today during chapel earlier, you brought up points of how man was made through mud and dirt, and how there's evidence when you test and find all the chemicals and stuff that leads back to dirt, and how women were made, and just that kind of spoke to me and was maybe I'm wrong about this. And in that sense I'm glad that I came, because it's giving me a new perspective to think about and leading me towards what I'm meant to believe and what and also it's just the people here. They've all been, for the most part, very, very nice people, and I've just had good conversations about God and about spirituality, and I think a lot of that has to do with the cabin I was put into. I'm very grateful for Eli, my leader. He's helped me a lot. I think he's shown me some new perspectives, and yeah, I think from now on I'm not just going to kind of brush away Christianity, and instead I'm going to try and live my life in it and experience it more, to make that thought for myself, to make my own choice for what I really want, instead of just brushing it away without even thinking about it. And yeah, I'm very glad that I've come this week, and I've had a blast. It's been a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Is that it?
That is it, yes.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead.
I've become more open to people, and I have learned more about God, and I felt like I'm getting closer to Him.
That's cool. Good job.
That's
Is that it?
Yeah.
You did a great job. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, so my name's Chris, and I started working at Pine Ridge Bible Camp back in 2010, and spent just, I would say, maybe 8 years serving here in the summertime, and was an intern here once and over the year. And man, Pine Ridge Bible Camp is an awesome place, and it's a place that God has blessed, and you can see that in the people who come here. And God is good, and He has given Pine Ridge Bible Camp. Oh, that's my radio. He's given Pine Ridge Bible Camp just a lot of awesome people, and to name a few, just like Steve Hewlett and Les McNeil and Kevin Griffiths and Daryl Crawford, just some awesome godly people who've really worked in my life over the years, and who've really pointed me in the direction of following Christ with all my heart, strength, and mind, and has really pushed me, to strive to serve others with just without holding back. So, and have to strive for faith. So, yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. Did it?
That's it. Yeah.
Great. Okay, go ahead.
So Pine Ridge has helped me a lot with growing in my own confidence in decision making, and also confidence in being able to read other people and step in and help them with hard questions and spiritual things.
That's awesome. Sweet. Is that it?
I think so, off the top
Great.
of my head that I can think of.
I think Pine Ridge has helped me focus more on myself and more on my relationship with God, and given me the time and space to be able to do that in my own comfort zone. But it has helped me grow socially with other people who are also believers in Christ. And like the cabin leaders are really great, and they're people to talk to if you have questions and you want to understand like what some of the lessons were. And it's just a fun, great cabin experience. Like the girls in your tablet, they'll be really kind and nice to you. You have some drama, but it's not that lot. It gets over really quickly, and you become really good friends. And I don't know, you just find God more in the nature, and then in the, in the city or like in the country when you're surrounded by busy people, you can pause and look around and be like, God created that tree. God created the water, the waves in the water, and it's just you can notice all the little things. And like before I was like too busy, but now it's peace. It's peaceful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You did great. Go ahead.
Okay, I think God has has impacted my life because like since coming here I've realized that I already knew that I wasn't really a people person, but like coming here has really like grown my connections with people. So like now I kind of know I'm getting there to like get involved with people. So yeah.
That's cool. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Sweet. Good job. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. You're
All right. Yeah. So like before I came, I wasn't very sure if I would be learning much about God, even though it was a Bible camp, and I was thinking like, oh well, it's just a camp. You have fun. You learn a little bit about God. And, like, I didn't expect to get so much out of it to where when I actually had come, like, 3 days in, I was already like, God's heavy in this place. And, like, by the end of the week, they had asked people up on stage at the all-camp worship thing. And they, told us to give testimonies on, like, what God had done through our lives at this camp. And basically, like, for me, God changed the ways, like, so before I came, I thought worshiping God in different ways other than just, like, singing along with the song was weird. But, like, I thought anything else but just singing was weird. Like, so now that I'm more comfortable that God has me in His hands and that no one else, He doesn't care about what other people think about me. I should only be caring about what He thinks about me. So then eventually I started raising my hands in worship. I've gotten a lot of I've gotten rid of a lot of issues that I used to have, like pride and all that stuff. But yeah, this camp has really changed the way I think about God and Christians.
That's cool.
Right,
Is
thanks.
that it?
Yeah.
Awesome. You did great. Go ahead.
Well, I think that Pine Ridge Bible Camp has affected my life in helping me with my anger, especially since the pastor Smiles has really helped me out with coming closer to the Lord than I ever have been. And just the crowd here is amazing. Everyone here is cool. I've met many great friends, reunited with couples, and yeah, just the overall experience was fantastic. Activities are amazing. Nothing's really boring about it.
That's cool. Is that it? Great. Good job. Okay, go ahead.
All right. How Pine Ridge has affected me over the past couple weeks as a leader has helped me grow in self-control and discipline and seek God's wisdom with every step I take. It has helped me to learn to be the man who is humble and not someone filled with pride.
That's awesome. Is that it?
I think so. I don't.
Sure? Before I hit off?
Go ahead and hit off. I
Okay,
don't.
cool. Good